He changed the storyline. Instead of being set in kind of current times, it's set in the future. They did have the motorcycle scene in it though, so I thought that was pretty good. They did do that. The motorcycles were a little different though. They were like futuristic kind of space age motorcycles. So I am glad that they did keep the motorcycle scene in it. But, and here's a spoiler. Here's a spoiler for the movie. If you're not really sure if you want to hear a spoiler or not, I'm going to tell you a spoiler now about the movie. So if you don't want to hear a spoiler about the remake of Terminator 2, Judgment Day, leave the room or turn this off. And here it is. Arnold Schwarzenegger was actually in this movie. Yes, Arnold Schwarzenegger was really in this movie. He's gotten back in shape, and he looks actually like he did in the first movie. And this movie, Terminator 2, was a sequel to that first movie. And this recent movie, Terminator Salvation, is a remake of Terminator 2. But he looks exactly like he looked in the one before this one. And so I recommend you see it just to see Arnold. But I do not recommend that you see it if you were expecting to see a faithful remake of Terminator 2 Judgment Day, because it was not a faithful remake. If anything, it was a bad remake. They just had better special effects. But there was one scene where Christian Bale, who's playing the Terminator, is fighting another Terminator, and that's a pretty cool scene because you get to see the robotic shell underneath the tissue, and it's really cool. So again, Terminator 2, recently a remake of that, Terminator Salvation. And I'm not going to tell you need to go see that movie, but I will tell you that if you want to see Arnold back in action again, go see that movie. And there's another thing about that movie that I think you should know, and it doesn't have Sarah Connor in it. Um, I don't know what's going on there. They just completely wrote her out of the script. They did have some reference to her. But Christian Bale, again, who's playing the part that Arnold played in this one and the first one, is talking about her in the movie. But I don't know why they didn't have her in the movie. My guess is they couldn't find a person to play it, or they just wanted to totally break away from this movie here when they did it. So again, remake of Terminator 2, Judgment Day, only this new one's called Terminator Salvation Day, and Christian Bale plays the Terminator, and he doesn't really do a bad job. It's just not the same as Arnold. When I see a Terminator, I want to see Arnold, and I was glad that he was in this movie because that's the Terminator I remember growing up with. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that Christian Bale makes a good Terminator, because he doesn't. So I'm going to be signing off with this note. I've been recently asked a couple of questions about some Marvel comics that have been coming out. One of them was a book called Secret Invasions. And apparently this book has something to do with scrolls, and these are characters who can disguise themselves as other forms, and it has something to do with Civil War. And those of you who are not familiar with Marvel Comics like I am, I will tell you that in Civil War, Captain America and Iron Man formed a superhero team, and Doctor Doom and Thor were trying to take over the superhero community, and Iron Man and Captain America were fighting against them. So there was basically like this civil war. It was like Thor and Doctor Doom against Captain America and Iron Man. And I didn't actually read the series, but that's kind of what I gathered happened in it. And Iron Man, at the end of it, somebody shoots Captain America, I guess, and Iron Man tries to save him, but he doesn't. And so Captain America died. So those of you who didn't know that, Captain America is dead right now. But then he came back to life recently. And he's got a new costume. Again, I did not read Civil War, but I gather that's what happened in it. And I think it was this secret invasion that they have going on right now is kind of a retelling of Secret Wars. And that, as you remember, took place in the early 90s. And that's where Spider-Man got his black suit. That's where Venom came from. And so those of you who saw the recent Spider-Man 3 movie, now that you know where Venom comes from, came from Secret Wars. And I think Secret Invasion, not too sure, so I haven't read it, but I think Secret Invasion is a remake, a retelling. Might even be just a flat-out reprint of Secret Wars. So, yeah, Secret Wars, Secret Invasion, same thing. If you have any more questions about Marvel Comics or movies, I'll be happy to answer them. Again, remake of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. It's called Terminator Salvation Day with Christian Bale as Terminator. And Hellboy Blood and Iron, which has nothing to do with the movie that just came out, but I guess it's alright. Yeah. So this is Mr. Marvel Man signing off, telling you to keep it real by keeping it Marvel. Oh yeah. Go see Terminator Salvation Day with Christian Bale as Terminator if you want to be totally disappointed with a really lame remake. There you go.